Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
I'm here. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Hello, Cindy, Kurt W., thank you. Heidi, much love to you too. Jenny Nicasio, much love to you too. And wow, I do have to say a couple things. I am on UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi, and I also co-host with. I'm helping Jenny Nicasio out on Station Prophecy on the Oracle Talk Show. So you can check me out there Thursday. Yes, I'm wearing the pineapple shirt, hon. There you go. Jenny, tell them all about the pineapple shirt. But tonight, my guest who was supposed to be on, Miss C.L.Thomas, unfortunately can't make it tonight. Okay, for unforeseen reasons, she just couldn't make it. So we're gonna do okay. Wish her luck and say some prayers. But I can guarantee it, that she will be on soon. Okay? So our love goes out to you, CL. Our love goes out to you. But yeah, what a night. And that's okay, because it's going to be a good night. Because I'm here Sunday night talking to you guys for this one beautiful hour. This hour always makes me happy, joyous, and you know what? Doing the Irish jig every now and then, Oh, yes, you can, Jenny. Yes, you can. Oh, my God, yeah, definitely. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Squats, man, good to see you, dude. Welcome to the show. But, yeah, I get so happy, seeing all my wonderful people in the chat room, my angels, my peeps, if you want to call them that. I don't know, they're my angels because, I'm insane for like 5 days out of the week, but when I do my 2 shows for the 1 hour, they sane. I'm sane because the energy that they have in this room. Oh, I tell you what, it's a lot. It's a lot of great positive energy, and I thank you for that. Okay, so like I said, I get so happy that I sometimes want to do the Irish jig. Yes. And speaking of the Irish jig, next Monday, St. Patty's Day. Yes. That day is where everybody is Irish. Ain't that kind of neat? It's it's funny, but I used to do Ceilidh dancing, which was Irish dancing. And every year around St. Patrick's Day, Kurt says we can use positive energy. Can never see or get enough. True. I love you too. How many sleeps is that? How many? Oh, okay. And the wake up, let's see. Today is Sunday. So you are looking at 7 sleeps and the wake up. Yes, absolutely. And so, like I said, I did some Ceilidh dancing. And good evening, Karen. Good to see you, hon. And every year they would have a big dance down in Pittsburgh. Well, if you go down there, we used to go every year. I mean, my mom, my son, he used to do Ceilidh dancing. And you're welcome, Heidi. And so when you go down to these big, massive dance thingies, okay, and you look all around the rooms, okay, and of course, what are you supposed to wear on St. Patrick's Day? Kiss me, I'm Irish buttons, green and white hats, green and white scarves, you know, anything Irish, anything green. But let me tell you a little secret here, everybody. If you go to one of these little shindigs, okay, uh, and you do not see people wearing green and white, if you see them wearing any other different color, they're Irish. They're Irish. Gold, yes, Scotch gold, uh, gold in green. Jenny says red. That's cool. We can go red. But what the deal is with that, with the colors, that everyone that's decked out in green and white and has all that Irish stuff all over their bodies and stuff like that, they're not Irish. But I do not hold that against them. Okay, it's just that everybody, can be Irish for that one day. And but if, like I said, if you're in the room full of all these people who are dressed up, and you see a bunch of people there not wearing no green and white, maybe a little shamrock lapel on their lapel, a little shamrock thing. Now they're the Irish people. Those are the ones who are Irish, you know. And the reason behind that, and it's not like we're ignorant or nothing like that. It's just that deep down inside we do know we are, but and that kind of blew me away. It kind of blew me away when I finally realized. It took me a couple of years to realize that you know people who are Irish do not wear green and white on St. Patrick's Day, except my mom. She likes doing that. But I don't wear green and white on St. Patty's Day. Um, I might have my scarf on at the beginning of the show here, but that's about it. Well, we have some stuff. Okay, Jenny Nicosia says Italians wear red on St. Patrick's Day. That's cool. So when I see a person all dressed up in red, I'm going to go up and say, "Are you Italian?" I'll do that, Jen. We'll see what they have to say. Kurt says Easter, Christmas, and Thanksgiving, you can really tell a lot about people just by looking at their appearance. That is true, Kurt. That is true. That is definitely true on that. But he also comes back and says nothing wrong with it. People have history and culture, and that means more than anything. You hit that right on the head of the nail there, Kurt. And that's true. But it's not like we condone anybody that is not Irish that because you got to remember one thing. When the Irish people came over here from Ireland back in the 1800s, they were treated like shit. Okay. Um, they were not welcomed in the United States at all. Okay. You couldn't, if you spoke brogue, you could not get a job. They wouldn't let you be, they wouldn't give you a job. They lived in slum areas, and they really treated the Irish pretty bad back then. Okay. And it was sad. And I read about the Irish history, about them coming over to America and being treated so poorly. And they could never find a job. They ended up laying brick, working in cement factories or stuff like that. But no one would want to. That's why when you go to Boston, especially in New York, when you have a lot of policemen up there and a lot of firemen up there, when they came over from Ireland, you know what? That's the only jobs they could get back then, are policemen and firemen, because they needed firemen and policemen in New York. Kurt says, I accept everyone, and I hate hearing USA history. We as a country did a lot of bad stuff. Yes, we did, Kurt. But with the young men that came over from Ireland, they just sailed from Ireland, got into New York, and they were automatically put on a boat going down to the Civil War. Hey, Tony Sabella, it's good to see you, buddy. And then they fought for the Union. But also you have to remember, too, that during the Civil War, there was a lot of Irish people that actually fought for the Confederacy. And they were out of Georgia. They were sharpshooters. And I remember watching some kind of show. I don't know where it was at, but the Confederate soldiers who are Irish saw the Irish Brigade walking toward them, and they did not want to shoot them. They couldn't. They said, those are our brothers. Eventually, they ended up shooting them, but, and they had tears in their eyes. That was a bad war. But today's Sunday, so we're going to be happy. So, as you can tell at the bottom here, it says questions from the chat room. Is there anybody in the chat room tonight that would like to ask some questions? And we can discuss it here. We can definitely discuss it. But, of course, a couple of my friend came through and, we got some questions. But I'm going to see if anybody out here has any questions. It could be a question about anything you want to talk about. Seriously. If you want to talk about whatever, don't be ashamed to put it in the chat room, and then we'll talk, because we're not here to judge you. I mean, and I'm sure somebody has something on their mind. But I do have some backup questions here that my friend would like to know. Okay, Kurt's going to think. Cool. Okay, so can you feel music within one's soul? Can you feel their happiness? Can you feel their sadness? Can you feel that? The music. It could be any type of music. Can you feel it in people? I think you can. I mean, you can go and see that this person is sad, so I have lists. Yes, he does. Tom Barker says, men who fought in the Civil War used a sharp brand rifle that were termed sharpshooters came from. Oh, really? Thank you for that update there, buddy. Thank you for that little bit of history. And my friend, who's a gentle soul, who is so wonderful, Miss Heidi Gold, she has lots of questions. She has a lot of lists, so some of these are hers. Um, but what do you think about feeling music within one's soul? What what do you think about it, Heidi? I mean, um, what's your thoughts on that? I believe they can. Absolutely. Can you feel the music in the spirit world? Can you do that? Can you hear music? Do you think there's music that follow ghosts around? Uh, Heidi says she absolutely can, deeply within. So that I don't know. I think people are, man. I can feel people's minds going right now. They're turning over. They're like thinking, can they or can they not? But let's just try. Okay, let's just try another question for now. I love music. In fact, I tell you what. I don't know if it's with my ADHD personality or whatever, um, but I love music, and I completely play uh, songs every day, the same songs every day in the same order. I don't know if I'm having a rough day. I know what songs. I have like 3 or 4 different mixes that I play. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Kurt says here, my girlfriend's question: do you believe in dream catchers? Oh, excellent question, Kurt. Tell her thank you for that question. Do I believe in dream catchers? Yes, I do. I do believe in them. Um, in fact, I did have a couple hanging over my bed at one time because I was going through a rough spot with some pretty negative energies and stuff, spirit wise. And when my son was born, I had one over his crib, you know. And then what was crazy was about the one, because before we put it over my son's head, he was having some really crazy nights. He was like about 6, 7 months old, all rolling. You know how they toss and turn and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He was cranky there for a long time, but once when I put that um, what was it? The dream catcher above his um, bed, uh, he quit. And then all I know is that in the morning, what I would do is that I would actually take it and put it in the sun so the sun can clean out all the negative energy that was caught in there. Yeah, I do believe it. Tom Barker says music has changed over the years and not sure if ghosts can relate to modern music. Huh. But Tom, I'm going to come back with this question to you. Okay. If they've been dead and been hanging around and they're intelligent, is it possible they caught on with the music that is being played today? Is it possible? It definitely is. I mean, you're a spirit and you're going through all these different changes in music, okay? And all of a sudden, they just keep hearing, like, one year it's Elvis Presley, and then the next year comes Led Zeppelin, you know? And they're listening to all this. So I believe that, yes, they do grow up with it. Okay. Michelle has one over her bed. Heidi has one. And Michelle can't remember her dream since I put it up. That's so pretty cool. Kurt says she was awesome for that, for your answer. She makes sure hers is cleaned in the sunlight also. That's the only way to do it, is to clean it. You know how they say if you got crystals, you got to put them out on the full moon to cleanse them. It's just like that. But with the dream catcher, you definitely have to put it out in the morning in the sunlight. Heidi says, I think it's all energy and believe they can identify. Michelle says that's a good thing. She can sleep. But I remember a couple investigations down here in Charleroi, PA. We went to the Italian club, and what we did is we got that app where if you speak into it, it will talk the language that you choose on there. So we did it on this app. We picked Italians, Italy, and so whatever we said in English, it responded in Italian, and we got a lot of feedback on that. We got a lot of feedback, a lot of nice little hits off the K2 meter. Then we started to play Italian music, and we got a lot of reaction from that. And then we played some big band music, and we got a lot of reaction with that. Michelle says, I charged some crystals in the sun and moon. Oh, that's a new one. Okay, Kurt says, do you hear that if you have a cat and it lays on you and purrs, the vibrations can heal your bones and body? I never heard of that, Kurt, but I have 2 or 3 wonderful people in this chat room that have cats. And I hope they can give you an answer on that, my friend. I'm sure they do, but you're going to have to talk. Hopefully, the cat people in the room could answer that question for you, Kurt. But yeah, so the Italian club was one hell of a freaking investigation, and we practically did the second part of the investigation in Italian. Heidi says, I have always thought that dream catchers were for trapping any negative entities from coming through your dreams. So, yes, or any kind of negative entities. Could not so much entities, it could be the energy. Well, if you look at it, right, entities are made up of energy. So wouldn't it be the same thing, Heidi? That's what I would think. But Heidi, this dude up here, Kurt, wants to know if your cat lays on you and it purrs, the vibrations can heal your bones and body. What do you think of that, Heidi? Michelle says, I know my cat calms me, especially when he purrs. Okay, and Heidi says, I believe that, Kurt. Also, sound frequencies can kill cancer cells and have been making more breakthroughs. Sorry, I'm catching the cold, everybody. I'm catching the cold here. Let me ask you guys a question real quick, a little bit off the subject. The other morning I woke up and there was like mud all over my car. It was like my truck. It was like that I was four-wheeling in mud. There was mud everywhere. Did anybody else have that on their cars? From what the news is saying, there was a big dust bowl coming in. There's some over in Texas or wherever, they were kicking up dust, and it blew eastward, and it's all over cars and stuff. I was just wondering if anybody had anything like that happen to their cars. Let me see. Well, study frequencies are called right frequencies. When it comes to frequencies, my own opinion on that, I really have never done any work with frequencies at all. I really haven't. And it's not saying that I'm not interested in it. It's just that I don't fully understand. I don't fully understand it. And I wish somebody could teach me, how the frequencies work. But I wish I could share more on frequencies, but I just can't, and I'm sorry. Heidi says we had very strong winds a couple days ago here in Boulder. Okay, so did you get covered in dust like here in the east, hon? I know we got. Honest to God, it was like my whole truck was covered in mud. Kurt says we had really high winds, but I don't have any mud or anything on my car, and I'm about an hour and a half from Pittsburgh. But the winds were really bad in the past week. Um, I noticed that when I started using different frequencies in our house to calm the energies. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Maybe Heidi, you can come on the show one day, and you can actually share your experience and maybe teach people a little bit more about frequencies. I'm sure I will learn something about it. But I got some more questions from my friend Heidi. Okay, where are we at here? Okay, we got some good stuff. Okay, and this is a good question. Hey, River Rose, good to see you. Hey, Stoney, long time, buddy. Good to see you. It's good to see you in the room, sweetie. Thank you for popping in. Heidi says we have wind all the time. LOL, no new or unusual dust. Solar weather is intense, and those solar CMEs come in hot towards Earth. Okay. You're always around, darling. Okay, I'm glad you're always around, buddy. You know, but I do have. Oh, Kurt has her next question. What's everyone's thought on Ouija boards? Okay, that's a good question. So Kurt's girlfriend wants to know how people feel, how their thoughts are on Ouija boards. I'll share mine again. I really don't like them. I believe they should not be a game that is sold in toy stores. It's a way of connecting to the other side of the into the other in the universe, into other dimensions. But what's really really crazy about the Ouija boards is that when you do it, you can actually bring in an evil entity or a very bad spirit that could cause harm unless you do unless you do it with the right person who knows how to work the Ouija board, who knows how to do it. You know, I have people who not live and die by the Ouija board, but they use it on their own personal uh, for their own personal thing, but they know how to use it. They know how to protect themselves. See, there's a lot of protection that you need to go and really do before you can even attempt. You get a couple kids that buy the board game and go out and then that night start playing with it. You're in trouble. It's not worth it. Okay, I got some answers here for you, Kurt. River says, I think they are bad, especially for unskilled people, especially children. True. River agrees with me. So Kurt says, so is that like, what is that? CE5? I don't know what that is, sir. Well, I really wish people wouldn't fool around with it. Hey, Marquetti, good to see you. And Heidi said, Sean and I just discussed this the other night. I don't like them, and people must know what the WTF they're doing. I know my fingers have been on a plachette, I think. Yeah, the plaque thingy, like when I was in high school, but never at my own home. Yes, we did discuss that, and that was a good discussion on that. I don't trust them. I really don't. And just you need to go out, and if you want to play with it, play with use the board, but have protection with you. Do it with somebody that knows what they're doing. Okay. And it's not so much the Ouija board, it's also the tarot deck, it's also the pendulums. Any tool that you use to communicate to the other side, to the other dimensions, is really, really not good. Unless, again, like I said, if you are with a person that knows what they're doing. Tom says, Ouija boards are no different than any other forms of communication with spirits. It's all about expectations. If you expect a bad experience, you will have bad experiences. Just mental. There's more than that, Tom. I do agree with you on what you said, but there's a lot of people that just like jump on that board and start asking stupid ass questions that are bringing in, pretty bad things. And the sad thing about it, Tom, is that they don't realize that they're doing it. I'm not knocking you, brother. I'm not knocking you at all. I respect your comment, what you just said, but there's not a lot of people that expect bad experience. A lot of them young people that do buy want to know if they're going to get married or if this boy loves them and stuff like that. Come on, they're playing with fire. And Heidi says, yeah, just never know what's coming through. And that's the scary part. But we are at the 31-minute mark, everybody, and I'm going to do something different today. Heidi says she had no clue what she was getting back into it. But I'm going to try something that I have not done in a long time. Okay. And I will explain it to you when we get back from the break.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Hey, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Our guest, C.L.Thomas, for unforeseen circumstances, cannot make it here tonight, but she will definitely be with us shortly. Soon, I'll have her back on again. keep her in your prayers. I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans, and I'm on the UPRN Talk Radio show. So Kurt come back and said CE5 is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Dr. Greer calling in these ETs and everyone going out and trying it. I heard stories people did it and are still regretting it to this day. True. Because they don't know what they got themselves into, Kurt. Honest to God. River says, for us who know the truth about the spiritual realm, know the board is highly unpredictable, especially for those unskilled. Right. And River got it right. It's true. But you know what? We got about 15 minutes left, maybe 16, 17 minutes. And I used to do this on my shows. And you don't have to participate in this. But I'm going to put you guys through a meditation. Okay? I'm going to put you in through a meditation. You don't have to do it. Okay? It's a real simple one. It's a real easy one. And this meditation kind of like helps you connect with your animal spirit totems. Okay. Now it's about 10 minutes long. Okay. But we're going to try it out again and see how it works for other people. Because when I used to do it, a lot of people got a lot of good out of it. Heidi says, love this. I'm stepping outside. Okay. All righty. So what I want you guys to do, like I said before, you don't have to do this. You don't. If you need to leave the room, go ahead. But if you want to stick around, give it a shot. So what I want everybody to do is close your eyes. Okay, just close your eyes and be totally relaxed. Total relaxation. Oh, River has, I have a bad story from my young childhood with friends, and I will not fool around with those boards because this time it almost turned tragic. I'm sorry to hear that, River. I'm sorry to hear that. But close your eyes, River, because I'm going to do a meditation with everybody tonight. Okay? It's real simple. You don't, like I said, River, you don't have to do it, but if you want to give it a shot, please feel free to do so. So what I want everybody to do is I want you all to close your eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in and let it out slowly. Take a deep breath in. And let it out slowly. Take a deep breath in. And let it out slowly. And now what I want you to do is to totally clear your mind. Totally clear your mind. And as you're clearing your mind, there's going to be a little white dot up ahead of you. Look for the little white dot and start walking to the white dot. And you can just feel the light coming from that white dot. How it's safe light. It's pure, wonderful energy. There is nothing going to hurt you in this meditation. So close your eyes, look for the white dot, and start working toward the white light. And as you continue walking toward the light, the little dot, white dot, is going to become larger and large and really, really large to where it engulfs your whole mind. And what I want you to do now is I want you to walk through that light. And when you walk through that light, you are coming to a meadow. Beautiful green grass, a lot of beautiful flowers. And there's a tree line ahead of you, a tree line of pine trees. And real sunny, real beautiful, really calming, very calming. Now in the middle of this meadow, there is a big rock, a boulder. And what I want you to do is go over to that boulder, and I want you to sit on that boulder. And I want you to look at the tree line ahead of you. You don't have to squint. Just watch that tree line. And as you look at the tree line, there are going to be animals that come out of the tree line. And what I want you to do, when you see the animals come out of the tree line, I want you to mentally keep them in your head. And as you're looking in that tree line, just feel the warm energy coming from the sun, the blue sky, the white clouds. And just feel Mother Nature, feel Mother Earth. Okay. Now there are going to be two animals that come right up to you by the boulder. The first animal that you see in front of you is going to be your alpha animal totem. When he comes up, say hello and say thank you. Now, the second animal that comes up to you is going to be your feminine animal totem. Make sure you say hello, and you make sure you say thank you. And now I want you to look up in the sky, and there's going to be a bird that's going to fly right to you. Can be any bird, an eagle, a hawk, a cardinal, a little wren, whatever bird that comes to you. What I want you to do is I want you to get on the back of the bird and let the bird take you where you need to go. You're not going to fall off the bird, but you need to keep your eyes open and look at the places that the bird takes you. So now the bird lands next to you. Get on the back of the bird and fly with the bird. And as you're up there in the air, feel the positive energy from the sun, feel the wind blowing in your face, and trust the bird, because the bird knows where you're going. So the bird's going to take you there. Just let the bird fly. And open your eyes and look where the bird takes you. Now the bird is coming back to the boulder. And when you get back to the boulder, get off the bird's back. And thank the bird for taking you where you needed to go. And remember what the bird was that flew you where you needed to go. Now, what I want you all to do is take deep breaths and just release the air. On the count of 3, you're going to come out of this meditation. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. And that, my friends, is the meditation for tonight. And I have used that meditation forever. And I still even do it to this day. So we're getting close to the end of the show. And what I would like you to do is whatever you saw in the woods coming out of the tree line, write it down. Write down the 2 animals that came to you at the boulder. The first one you saw was the alpha, and the second one was the feminine one. And write down the bird. And those animals that you saw come out of the woodwork, out of the tree line, those are your animals that are part of your totem. So I hope everyone had a good time with it. And I would like to hear your results, if you don't mind bringing them up next week. Hey, Joe, sorry. That's okay, you're late. That's all right, buddy. Thank you for popping in. I also said, hey, Sean, so glad I caught you live. Big hugs from East Coast of OZED. I think that's New Zealand. I think. Heidi says the visual was so similar to the happy place I go to meditate. Also, a goose flew over and honked minutes before you said the third. Ah, interesting. Heidi says, thank you, Sean. It was very interesting message, and I love my totems. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it. So, children, please, if you can, go to your parents, give them a hug. Tell them that you love them. And parents, please, go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no children, and if you have no parents, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, I will be seeing you Tuesday night. Happy hunting.